Hello and welcome to For the Love of Nature, a podcast where we tell you everything you need to know about nature and probably more than you wanted to know. I'm Laura.
And I'm Katy, and today we are talking about how animals have evolved to have some pretty awesome adaptations. And could you imagine if humans had them? I had to emphasize the could you because this is one of our could you series, and we're kicking off season 6 with a could you.
Yeah, might as well start on a ridiculous note.
I mean, why not? I was going to say season 6. I mean, it's ridiculous we've gotten this far. Anyway.
Yeah. Could you imagine we ever got this far?
No, because we were talking about this in the off season. It's not so much like that, like, oh, the success of it, oh, it's doing well. No, it's that Katy and Laura have kept this hobby alive for as long as we have. Yeah, we haven't switched. We haven't gotten bored with it. We haven't jumped ship.
I think it's that there's so much novelty in every episode. Like, if we were focusing on the same thing all the time,
definitely.
One topic, it'd been over a long time ago. But this is engaging to me because I'm learning something different. It's just
every
all nature
time
related, but it's still like tons of different rabbit holes.
Yeah, no, embrace the rabbit holes. I almost said embrace the holes. But gotta put rabbit. We really gotta get our butts hiking on some merch here. And that's gotta be one of them. I have to do something about rabbit holes because I'm constantly amazing.
Thinking about like the dark taxa one. I think about regularly.
We need to just do it.
I know.
We need to just do it. But yes. Well, the dark taxa one though, we said that how long ago? That's a glow in the dark.
Glow in the dark.
That would be, a little bit more difficult to find. But we can do it. But we really need to think about something about rabbit holes. Because I'm always going down them. And it's glorious. I mean, it's a great trail of dopamine.
It's glorious. A glorious hole.
A glorious dopamine hole. Dopamine-filled hole. And also, in other news, Laura can finally drink. So I'm not the only one participating in an adult beverage because Laura's not.
We're not going crazy, but it's the first episode and it's a ridiculous one, so I'm having a glass of wine.
Yeah, relax a little bit. She's not feeding the baby anymore, so
just no risks of making a Laura tipsy as well.
Yeah, right.
It's the last thing she needs. She can already barely walk.
Yeah, right.
She's toddling around.
Who just turned 1. I don't think we talked about that in last season because she's 1.
No, yeah, it would have just happened.
She's 1.
Yeah, just turned 1. She's running even, but she faceplants still a lot. But she's getting like more and more solidly walking. Sometimes, like when she's tired, she still looks like she's wasted. But
that is the fun age, though. That's fun. Has she started talking at all yet? Like babbling?
Yes, more babbling now. And she said mama and dada for a long time and diggles. She says like diggles.
Of course she did.
I know. And kitty and I think dog.
Okay.
So like with the animals, she's all about it.
I mean,
there's a dog here at her daycare and she's like, dog. Like she gets so excited. Before she was just calling every animal diggles.
Yeah.
So at least now. Yeah. She saw a goat. Diggles.
That's so cute.
Yeah, the way she says it's so cute.
That's funny. Yeah, Luke was an early talker, if anybody can imagine that. Luke was a very early talker, and you saw him when he was little. Kid you not. Like, as soon as he started, that child has not stopped. Like, he takes after his mama. Like, to a fault.
It's so funny. Everything, like, Alora does is, like, and because she's gonna be like her mom. Like, it's like, she might look just like Justin, but she acts just like me.
And that's exactly how Luke is. Looks like his dad.
Justin and I were probably pretty similar kids as far as, like, smart, figuring stuff out, ornery, but, like, she's, like, super energetic. She just never stops.
Yeah.
Which is definitely, like, a me. And, she's such a happy kid. Although I'm always like, don't let her fool you, because like when she can be like
insane.
When she'll look you dead in the eye when you tell her not to do something, and then just do it. Or if she's really mad at you because you've told her not to do it, she'll look you dead in the eye, straight faced, as she pinches your arm as hard as she can.
Oh,
and you're like, dang!
She has a streak to her.
Yeah,
that kid's gonna go places one day. Don't worry.
Strong, independent woman.
Right? Yeah, no, Luke is just crazy. He's been doing really good, though. He's just started first grade this year. And that's fun.
So crazy.
Right? Because you knew him from the time he was born until he was like 2.5, I think, whenever he left the zoo. And he is, I mean, you saw him this past summer. He's insanely tall. I mean, he's,
Which
first
is so
grade.
because you're not.
No.
And Carl's really not either.
No, his dad is 5'9", and I'm 5'1", but his dad's whole family is pretty. He has some really tall
His
cousins.
uncle's tall, right?
Yeah, and he has like some really tall cousins and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm 5'1", Luke's in first grade and already like up past my armpit, so he's almost to my shoulder. So yeah, he's gonna be a big kid, but because he's like 6.5, he still has the mentality of like he's a little kid, and so like he'll be tired and he wants carried. And thankfully I'm strong, but I can carry him.
Thankfully I'm strong,
and I can carry him, but like his legs go down past my knees, and so it always looks like a kindergartner. Like a first grader carrying another first grader. Like, he's just way too big. Or, like...
Baby Huey.
Right? If I put him on my shoulders, like, his legs go down to my hips. Like, because his legs are just so freaking long. And so it just looks... A kid carrying another kid. That's all it looks like. He's so funny, though. I told him we were starting up the podcast again. And his exact words were, give everybody a shout out. So everybody gets a shout out. Oh goodness.
Well, as far as I mean, there's news wise, we're not doing any official like in the news nature news.
I mean, I got a really big camp chair. We'll post these videos at some point. If anybody who's watching can see
for our few people on Patreon,
right?
Katie's chair. It's plush.
It's so big. It's a new camp chair. It's a Woods. The Woods is the brand name, and it's their mammoth chair. And it is the best, like, around a fire chair. Because I can sit comfortably, very comfortably in it, Indian style.
I was just going to say, as I'm currently sitting Indian style in this chair.
See? Around a fire.
It's not that comfortable.
Right? No. And it's huge. And it has a cup holder. And it's very low to the ground. So listen to me. I just said I'm 5'1". Do you realize, probably 90% of my knee problems come from the fact that every chair I sit in, my feet don't touch. Or it's like they touch, but like it's such a weird angle. It's not like the ergonomic proper fit.
Yeah.
So my knees and my hips constantly freaking hurt. So it's low to the ground, so it is perfect for my short legs. But it's huge, and so I just imagine like a big blanket campfire, and it's a perfect chair. Yeah. Also, I'm determined that the next guy that I marry, if I marry, next guy has to be 6 foot. Why? I've determined that pretty much all the new cabinets and all these new places, I can't reach.
Without a stool.
Yeah, I have a step stool that I have to drag around everywhere with me. And so like I measured, I'm like, okay, if someone's 6 foot, they can totally reach the top of the shelves. And I'm like,
yeah,
perfect. So 6 foot minimum. Anybody listening, they can
apply as you will.
Apply as you will. And this is a huge camp chair that would fit probably almost both of us in it because it's ginormous. So I have ulterior motives for my ginormous camp chair.
All right. So for this episode, we had the inspiration last season.
Yes.
When we were like, we've been talking. I, as in particular, am always like
thinking about this.
Yes. I feel like in so many of our episodes, I'm like, oh man, wouldn't it be crazy? And so now we're finally going to go on this journey together and see if we can blow each other's mind.
Question.
Yes.
Which question pops into your mind first? Could you ride that or the adaptation? Whenever you see an animal, depending on what it is.
Oh man, that's a great question. Probably ride.
Probably ride.
Because the other one would be like, could you be that?
Yes, yeah, true.
But we've already talked about, I think that's probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
The adaptation is like, kind of like the, could you be that? Or something like that.
Fair.
Which I definitely think about. But when we're talking about, like when we're telling each other about our animals or whatever we're researching, I then immediately jump to
Oh my gosh.
The anthropomorphizing of it.
Yes. Which makes it so much better 90% of the time. So it was in the title pool episode that we were talking about starfish. And then because how they can lose a limb. And so we were talking about if humans could do that.
How insane that would look.
That would be insane. And listen, I went to some coworkers, and I'm going to call them out because they listen to the podcast. And so I'm calling them out. To be fair, we've had a very busy time at work. I go to them and I ask for help. And I just got thinking that this is going to be the freaking funniest thing that I've ever brought to them ever, because I have been dying inside. I don't know if the ones I chose are like the strongest ones I've ever thought of, but they're still good because I am constantly thinking of them. So anyway, so I went to them thinking this would be the freaking funniest thing ever, and I got the blankest of blank stares.
Guys.
And then one, she just like went too deep into it, like too like, okay, well, if people have evolved, it's because their environment has evolved, and it's because of, A, way, and I'm like, I was like,
You're
no,
ruining it.
I was like, don't, you're thinking too hard. Just, this is surface level stupidity, like surface stupid. And so we were laughing, and the other guy was just like sitting there like, like looking at me.
I guess that's why we do this.
Right? Because we think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But thankfully,
we're filling a niche here.
Yeah, right. Thankfully, one of my other coworkers, she has a background within zoos as well, and so I was like, "Listen, I really need your help," and she was like on it. Like she was like,
just like even if you never thought of this, just like throw me weird adaptations.
Yes, and that's what she was just like one right after another, and so I had meetings all day with a contractor, and I was like, just text me if you think of them. And we have like a group chat going on, and she just was texting me like random ones, and so I'd be out there like. Like trying not to laugh.
We've honestly talked about so many.
Uh-huh.
Like the barnacle one, where I'm like, can you imagine if you went out to your neighbor and like
yeah, right? Or the baby
on the shoulder.
The baby fused to your nipple, which was our number one spot for the funniest ones.
It is the funniest.
It is.
I was laughing so hard listening to it in my car.
Oh my gosh. Because it's such a good segment. If you guys have not listened to season 5's finale, which is basically just me laughing at myself in between takes of Laura and I talking about ridiculous things. We pulled like all the funniest segments. I got with Laura and Kim. We pulled out funny segments, and we didn't even hit all of them, but it's like the top 20. Yeah. And listen, like the top 4, I don't even know how long it took me to actually record that. Because I was laughing so hard at just like the insanity. And I feel like this episode just fits in. Yeah. I'm so hoping. So,
do you want to go first, or do you want
I would love to go first, actually.
Okay, please do.
Alrighty. Could you imagine if every time a piece of dirt gets in a body crevice, like an oyster, we make a pearl?
Very quickly?
Yeah.
Like how fast?
Like an oyster fast. I mean,
yeah, but they don't make it that fast.
I know they don't, but I mean, you figure, if it's
no, I know, but like if
you want to make a pearl, you can either wash it out, or you can make a pearl.
You just decide to leave it there
and just make a pearl.
Listen, every time I go to the beach,
yeah, right,
just come out just dripping in pearls,
or like
dropping pearls, just as you walk, just plopping pearls, just plopping off.
And I was like, kids by far would be pearl factories.
Yeah, I'll never forget one of the first times. So before Laura could have an actual bath, and we were just supposed to be wiping her off.
Oh yeah, gosh.
I apparently wasn't getting her armpits. Because when I finally did lift her armpit the whole way, she had armpit cheese. But it could have been a pearl. What if it was a pearl? That would have been so much nicer.
It could have been a pearl.
You just lift your little baby arm. Pearl.
Right.
That would be so good.
But of course, okay, so any of our children listeners should just close their ears for a little bit. So one of my coworkers was like, is this any body crevice, or are you thinking only one particular? And I was like, no, dear God, any body crevice. You said armpit, elbow. Like, I don't care
Any
where.
crease.
Behind your ear. It'd be like a magic trick. Boom. Pearl.
Pearl.
Boom. Pearl. Boom. Pearl.
Between your toes. That would be really uncomfortable.
Pearl. But just because I would announce it every time. And I would do it like a magic. I would do it like a magic trick too. Like between my toes, be like, Pearl. Like every single time.
Princess Dirty Toes would have had a crazy advantage.
Right?
Just a pearl factory.
Pearl factory. Children.
That's amazing. Did you come up with that one, or did they give that?
No, that was mine. That was mine.
Good.
And then that was the example that I used to giving to other people. And the first two I gave that example to, again, blank stares. And I'm like, guys, that was freaking funny. Like, I'm laughing. As soon as I thought of that, I was dying to myself. And I was like, guys, that was funny. And then I went to my other coworker who used to work in zoos too, and she like lost it laughing. So I'm like, you're my people. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody gets my weird sense of humor. To be fair, the first two that were like blank stares, one of them did give me like all the animals I used that I was going to punch in the face or beat up. So it evens out. Couldn't do this one, but you know.
They're just a more violent person.
Yeah, right. It's just aggression. Help me with my aggression issues.
Okay. All right. I immediately came up with two when we were just even talking about this episode. So my immediate go-to was, could you imagine if we just ejected our babies at the first sign of danger?
Because I imagine like not a gentle.
Yeah, whether that baby is inside or outside. So for those of you that don't know,
Wait, outside?
Yeah, like you just throw it. So macropods, which are kangaroos, wallabies, quokkas, all of those guys, they at the like anytime a predator is chasing them, they just toss that baby,
which is so mean. Just like, baby,
they're
gone.
You know, they're all marsupials, so their pouch is really muscular. So the mom can just relax it, the baby falls out, and as it's flailing around making a ruckus, the mom can make an escape while the baby gets devoured.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
But they're like baby machines. They've got like one in the pouch, one on the teat, one in the oven.
Yeah.
And so they're just cutting their losses.
Yeah, true. Very true.
But right, can you just imagine, like, you know, the amount of times that I get startled? I just, not even necessarily like full blown. Like, I wonder how afraid you'd have to be to eject a baby. Like, it
has to be
significant. You'd think.
Yeah, you would. One would hope. I should say.
But like, imagine, you know, like some people, you know, I'm one of those people that like to scare other people, but I get startled too. Like, what if you know, you're just, you know, your baby is sleeping on you. It's very peaceful. You're watching a horror movie, and then just bam! You just throw your baby across the room.
Chuck it.
Sorry, it's my instincts.
It's my instincts to chuck a baby. And they wouldn't even know. Like, you know what I mean? Especially if it's a human, because humans are so... And as far as, like, animals are concerned, human babies are completely useless and helpless. Like...
Yeah.
They can't do anything. They don't... Like, no defenses whatsoever. I mean, a baby bird is probably about, like... comes in very close. And I would even say a baby bird has a better chance of survival than what they do. Whenever I was in Australia, we went to this rehab place, and they were rehabbing kangaroos. Yeah. And there was, maybe I didn't post it, but there was like a ridiculous
amount of babies.
Well, it was in this mom's pouch. And it was so big. Like, the baby that popped out was so big. It was just uncalled for. Like, it was almost like, it was like a magic trick where this baby popped out. And we're like, what the heck just happened? Here it is. Okay, so our Patreon folks will get to see this then. So you walk up on it, and that's what I saw first. Okay, so we're like, And for the listeners, I'll try to describe it. So all we saw was a young female kangaroo with just feet sticking out. Okay? Yeah. So we're like, okay, whatever.
Does that kangaroo have 6 legs? No.
Well, yeah. We're like, that must be... Okay, second picture. We're like, is that baby, like, big, like, full grown, sure enough, let me just show you. That's the freaking baby that came out of it.
Her pouch must have been so stretched.
It's like me holding Luke in a pouch. Like, it is so big.
You gotta cinch that muscle closed, mama. Don't let it back in.
Just do not let it, like, again, kick that kid out. Like,
especially because she probably already has another one in there.
Right? Get rid of that thing.
Yikes.
But then look at them. They got really cute there.
They are so cute.
They're so freaking cute. I love kangaroos.
Too bad that they don't love their babies enough to hold on to them.
Right? They're just going to shoot them out instead. Well, I can go one of two directions here. I do have another pouch animal, or I have a baby animal. A baby-related one. So, let's go with pouches. This is one that we have talked about already, and it would be koalas. So what if we did have an upside-down pouch?
Dumb. So dumb.
That's we're talking. And I'm not going to go as far as everyone has chlamydia, but what
oh, jeez.
Your face. But what if we had upside-down pouches and had to, like...
Take care of our babies in it?
Take care of our babies in it. Like, would you just wear, like...
Belt.
A belt.
Just a belt at all times.
Or
even when you're sleeping.
But you want the baby to come
breathe,
out.
I guess.
Yeah, to breathe.
To breathe.
Hopefully the
special
baby
pants?
breathes. Special with like vent. Nope. You know what? No, I'm not gonna say.
I was thinking like maternity pants, but that had more of like a pouch area.
That like if it wanted
over your pouch, yeah, it could go into the pants and just hang out in there.
Like an outdoor play space.
Yeah.
Grow out of your pouch.
I don't ever want a pouch facing up or down.
It is hands down one of the most disgusting things.
I looked in there once. No.
To me,
like sweaty and.
To me, the only more disgusting thing about babies, as far as disgusting goes, is the frogs with the baby in its back.
Stop.
Yeah, that grosses us out. So disgusting. But I would say, like, okay, now just hear me out. Women's clothing never has pockets.
The only advantage.
So would you use said pouch when you're not carrying a baby? Let's just to hold your stuff.
I would just rather have pouch pockets then. Babies, nothing about babies included.
But listen. Yes. If you just had a pouch, let's just say you have a pouch. You can either because it's the same gestation, I should say, as we have regular humans now.
Yeah.
So 9 months, you carry the baby. Hopefully you're not popping one out after the other. Would you use that pouch to carry things?
And probably. I've used like my bra and stuff.
Because you figure because any sane person would be like, well, just wear clothing that has pockets. Listen, 90% of women's clothing does not have pockets. Or if they have pockets, they're really stupid small pockets.
Yeah, you can't fit your stuff in there.
Not even a phone. Like, phones are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I'd rather have skin pockets for like my stuff. I'm also
than a baby.
Like,
so you'd rather
waist, like the waist that comes out.
Well, you'd have to clean your pouch. The mom
cleans it, I know.
Yeah, you'd have to clean it.
But like if it's upside down, it's just constantly coming out.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's facing up, like at least you could just like clean it out every once. It's just no. I mean, if you had a baby in an upside down pouch, you'd have to wear like special underwear to catch all the waste from the baby.
So then here's a question. Okay, so
or you shove a pad up in there to soak it all up as it's happening.
Yeah, right? It's a super absorbent baby diaper. What if then, would you be more pro pouch if it was just like, what if it was on your hips, like as pockets? Like what if we just evolved like pouches?
Hip pouches.
Like for just pockets, like random.
Oh, for pockets, not for babies.
Yeah, for pockets, not for babies. I'm
about it.
So you're okay if we just like develop pouches. Like,
What if
random
that's, like,
pouches.
women, we just need to start selectively
breeding ourselves.
for
yeah.
that.
For pockets.
Like, anybody who's got a dip in their hip, a dent, go
Right.
for it.
We need to start thinking.
A lot of people have that, like, dent at the bottom of their spine.
True. That's where our pouches
start. Some people's are pretty deep.
To be fair, on your lower back would be convenient because okay, listen, those who know me know I fancy a really good fanny pack. So
just to take that to a whole nother level.
This would be
it's
the
pretty
ultimate.
much fanny level.
Yeah, right? And then I just like shoot, and I always listen to any mom out there or anybody that is going to judge me for wearing fanny packs. First of all, they do look cool. Like, I don't wear, like, 90s grandpa.
They're back in. Yeah, I think it's fine
I wear fun ones. Secondly, when you have a kid, fanny packs are amazing. Like, I gotta be hands, ready. They're just, they're so quick for spills, everything.
Honestly, Katie, I think you missed the train on this one because, like, after you had Luke, you could have made pockets. From like your distended muscles. Like you had a pocket. You had a pouch. You need to just sew that back.
I wish you guys could see Laura's like hand motions. I missed my chance.
Katie had a pouch.
I had one. Missed chance.
Missed it.
But I frequently miss pockets. But then again, like like I hate clothes that don't have pockets, but at the same time, okay, listen. Single now, all right? Your butt's got to look good. So you don't put anything in your back pockets, you know what I mean? But then the front one, it's like they're too small and they're weird. So you got to have like a more convenient.
Even the back ones suck because then you sit on it.
Yeah, they're just so impractical. Ah, goodness.
All right.
Laura and I are definitely both pro non-baby pouch.
Non-baby pouch, yeah. But that whole nonsense of the upside down pouch, no. I would no. Getting rid of that. Do I have something that's pouch-like? No, not really. But I do have disgusting. Okay. Could you imagine if, in order to flirt, we sprayed feces everywhere?
I mean, if we evolved to find it attractive, maybe.
I guess, because that's what hippos did.
Yeah.
So the hippos sling their poop all over the place to mark their territory, but it's not just for territory, it's also done during mating season. Usually only guys do this, but if the female likes it, if she's into it, she'll just go and either poop on his face or right next to him.
I mean, you don't want to judge anyone's kink, but at the same time.
Right, at the same time. It's actually been shown to, I mean, we're talking 30 feet here, two people.
What?
Like, that's some serious poop spraying.
Okay, I was gonna say, not only, okay, so, because they shake their tail, right?
Yep, just 30 feet.
That's, okay, so would we have a tail then? Like, would we keep our tail? Or would we just, like, have to really shake our butts?
Or just project, like, the force. Like a bald eagle.
I gross out so many people. Whenever I was a kid, I grew up in a family who called whenever you have diarrhea the squirts. And
me too, for sure.
And I don't know if it's like a Northeastern thing, but everywhere I've moved since, they're like, the what? And everybody gets grossed out about it. Listen, diarrhea is horrible regardless.
It's also literally what's happening.
But
what else would you call it?
But at the same time, like, I would rather any day of the week say the squirts rather than diarrhea. Like, any day of the week. Projectile.
Scientists have also discovered that just the sound of an unknown hippo, like if they hear a stranger danger, just immediately crap and spray. So like,
I mean,
just meeting new people would be so awkward.
Just crapping your pants. Just those poor introverts.
All they have to do is they hear a voice. They just hear the bellow of a stranger. So yeah, you just hear a stranger and just spray.
Shart your pants. Poor people.
Yeah, we'd have to. There'd have to be some clothing stuff going on there.
Oh my gosh, some severe, not even catching, but just like reinforced for like
reinforced. And like just constant changes. Yeah. Like just I need to carry a change of clothes at all time, if not multiple. You just have stashes wherever you go.
I mean, that's kind of like how I am like a squirrel with feminine products. Like anybody that knows me, I stash them everywhere I go.
Yeah,
so
anybody might need them.
Yeah, and because you never know, being a woman sucks sometimes. But I picture it would be like the same thing, like just anywhere you go. Yeah, just stash stuff everywhere.
Oh, it'd be so gross.
So gross. But it would be kind of cute if, like, every time a male wanted to attract you, he, like, squatted over and wiggled his butt. I mean, minus the poop. Yeah. But...
a little butt wag. A little butt wag never hurts.
But without the feces. Little butt wag, no feces. Thank you. Alrighty. We'll go back to babies.
Okay, good.
Gastric brooding frogs. The ones that like house the babies in their mouth. Their mouth, yeah.
I mean, I guess if your baby could literally fit in your mouth, like if a baby was like the size of a Twinkie.
That's okay. So that's where I was going. Okay, so listen. What if our babies didn't come out like big? Luke was just over 8.5 pounds. He was a chunk kid. Like I remember they pulled him out because I had a C-section. And I remember the doctor saying they did a normal C-section cut. And then he said, listen, I'm going to apply pressure. And if we can't get him out, we're going to have to cut you hip to hip. So like, because I'm tiny and Luke, over 8.5 pounds, he was a big kid. And so they got him out and then it literally said, Mom, it's a linebacker with a full head of hair. Sure enough, like, because he was just like a little tank from day one. But if we didn't have like full size, babies that we know of now, and we had like babies.
Well, right, and like, how many did they fit in their mouth? Did you find out?
It depends on the species, I believe.
I'm just curious, how many babies do I have to fit in my cheeks? Like it's like that game Chubby Bunny,
right?
Like that Chubby Bunny game.
Chubby Bunny,
full of babies. And are they tadpoles when they're in there?
No. It's like a fully grown.
They're like actual. Tiny baby froglets.
A fully grown tiny baby froglet.
Okay, so again, we're not talking a human baby. We're talking like toddlers in your mouth.
So they think that they're at least the one species. They think that they're extinct now.
Oh well, probably a dumb thing to do. How many times did they get eaten?
Yeah, like, probably a dumb thing to do. Probably a dumb thing to do.
Just a baby slip down the old esophagus,
right? So there was the southern. I'm sure that there's more though.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't say how many. I don't see it about how many.
Let's just say 3. Let's just say they could fit 3. If you have to fit 3 tiny toddlers in your mouth that could crawl in and out of your mouth independently.
To be fair, I am fantastic at Chubby Bunny. So I feel like I could make a good running with 3 babies. Because my whole career, my whole career is a professional talker. So it would have to be like, hello, everyone. You know what I mean? Like the whole time.
Yeah.
But then like catch a baby as it like,
Yeah, well, so that's what I was going to say. Any of the people who know me, any of my friends know that I am notorious for spewing. Like if I'm taking a drink, somebody says something funny, it just comes out. So like I would be terrible at this because my babies I laugh so much. Babies are just constantly just shooting out.
Hopefully Justin's a good catcher. He takes like a baseball mitt everywhere you guys go to just like catch the babies.
Yeah. And then like I just imagine, like what if I wonder how often the babies are in the mouth. Like all the time or only when there's danger?
I think it was like sparingly.
Because that would be okay. I'm just thinking like at night. Like how are you supposed to breathe and like snore and like
through your nose?
Eat? Like how do you eat and not eat your baby at the same time?
Skill.
I mean, I guess that's why they're extinct probably. They did.
Well, a lot they were saying they think that the places where they were overtaken, at least these 2, were overtaken by chytrid fungus. So, to be fair, not their fault, humans' fault.
I suppose.
So...
I wouldn't want to do it. That's the answer. Absolutely a no-go. But, like, it could be done. I think.
So it's their stomach is the womb, and then they
actually go the whole way down?
I believe so, yeah.
How do they survive the stomach acid?
Well, I mean, you figure a frog isn't exactly like ours.
Well, I know, but like they still have to digest food. That's bananas. The mouth is one thing, like a crocodile, where they're just hanging out in their teeth. Like, that's one thing. Your stomach, absolutely not.
But yeah, so that would be
disgusting.
Yeah, because its stomach the stomach functioned as a uterus.
That is crazy. Just regurgitating your babies.
Yeah.
Actually, this segues perfectly into my next one.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Could you imagine if we vomited like vultures whenever we felt threatened?
I feel like to an extent, a lot of people do this. You know what I mean?
But I feel like it's like they vomit out of nervousness, like backstage or something, not like onto somebody.
Okay. To be fair, you have a point there. Yeah, not onto an individual. But I feel like a lot of people, like when they get in like a very high stress situation, just like vomit because they're like, bleh, like just bleh. But
yeah,
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing.
No, I think it'd be actually cool.
I don't know if I would go as far as cool, but
as long as it was a voluntary process.
Oh, like, see, that would be I don't know if there's this voluntary though.
I don't know either. What I do know is that they can vomit up to 10 feet, so that's some serious puking.
Man, we've worked with how many different vultures? I don't remember it ever being that far.
Not projectile. Yeah. And their stomach pH is typically 10 to 100 times stronger than a human.
Well, I mean, you got to break down all that dead stuff they're eating.
Yeah. So, like, it burns. So, like, can you imagine, like, you're having a fight with somebody, and you're like, that's it, and you just puke on them, and then they just burns.
Ugh.
Dang.
Ugh, that would be rough. I don't think that...
No one would ever mess with you again.
No, but I don't think that vultures, it is voluntary. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's...
No, I think it's
a reaction to
like a predator or something like that. Yeah. So that way they can it's a distraction and it lightens the load so they can fly.
Okay, so then my next one then. Could you imagine if humans adapted and had like an organ on their face or like an extra appendage on their face like the star-nosed mole?
Oh, I saw this and thought about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
I took it.
That's cool. No, like it's like straight up tentacle looking.
It is. So it looks like tentacles, and then they do sort of use it because they're underground. They use it as like almost like eyes, essentially. Like it is like a vision, an like extended. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it probably wouldn't be very useful to us because we can see, but
that wouldn't give us the ability to like live not in the light all the time.
That's true. Or can you imagine I'm not PG-13 here. Can you imagine like the sensory input of like a makeout session?
True.
Like if you had like a crazy like
Can you bring your tentacles over here? Like, that gives a whole new definition to sucking face.
Because most people don't even like, most people, unless you're like, I don't know, most people don't have their eyes open when they're kissing.
I was gonna say, I'm so excited to see where you go with this. Yeah.
Most people don't have their eyes open when they're kissing. So this was where your like
nose
weird sensory organ on your face, would come in handy.
True. Or would it be like?
Or taking it even further. Take it. We'll just allude to things here. If you went further than the makeout session, to like,
I'm just gonna sit back and let you talk this through because I'm just gonna let you dig yourself in this hole.
There's no way to say it without saying it. Acted like a mole?
Laura, go into more detail.
do what moles do. And
Do what moles do.
Tunnel in there. So anyway, that's where that would really come in handy, I think.
do what moles do. Just tunnel right in there.
I hope somebody says that next time. Some listener out there just uses that terminology.
All right, babe. Let's just do what moles do. I'm gonna tunnel right in there.
So yeah. Then I'm on board.
Then I'm on board. Oh goodness. I mean, it would have, because I mean, okay, so the moles, they are super sensitive. So it would, you know what I mean? So it would
They
be
cry at movies and I'm like, yes.
But it would be like one of those things, because you figure, like, on a human, okay, going with what you were saying, as a human, our most, like, with the nerve endings, there's only a few key parts. Parents, adults know where we're going with
Because we're highly visual species.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all about vision.
So, like, would that organ end up being, like, another organ for, like, sexual purposes? If it was our case, because in the mole's case, they have to use it to be able to feel and see food. But for us, if we did stay, you know, on top of the earth and we didn't dig wherever you're digging, like, if it is highly sensitive like that, like, would it
Well, right, because that's
serve a different purpose?
That's what lips. Why would your lips be so sensitive otherwise?
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting.
Yeah. Never thought about it.
Yeah.
Could
Now
be
you
handy.
will.
Could be handy. Okay. Could you imagine if humans went through metamorphosis like butterflies and moths?
So listen, oh my gosh, that's what I said. One of my coworkers said that, and I was like, and then we talked about it a little bit. That would, okay, to be fair, that would be pretty cool.
It would be crazy. I talk about this at work, because this is
It
one
would
of those
be
things
nuts.
where, in order to, like, get the concept across to kids, what I usually end up saying is, can you imagine you get in your sleeping bag at night, zip yourself up tight, and when you wake up, you look completely different.
Yeah.
You don't eat the same things. Nothing is the same about you.
Nothing.
Okay? Not a dang thing. Although, they do think that there is some memory retention. And I looked at the science of how metamorphosis...
They only think? Interesting.
Well, they found out, they did some experiments, like, do butterflies remember certain plants that they, like, and they did show, like, an affinity for certain, like, individual, so, like, there's got to be some kind of memory stuff going on.
Interesting.
But apparently what actually happens, and I don't know how, I've never looked this up before, but to form the chrysalis, the outer layer of their skin comes off.
Yeah.
Inside
the cocoon itself is like their own silk, so like they're making it.
Silk if they're a moth, and then their skin if it's the butterfly. Is a chrysalis. Ugh. Inside of that, then their muscles and organs break down into their most essential cells, and those cells are called imaginal discs. So these imaginal discs,
yeah, right. Jeez.
Put them back together in the way that they need to be.
It literally is like a completely new.
Yeah, because they essentially turn into soup.
Yeah, I knew that. And just so
the
gross.
Only thing, right? And it's just crazy that, like, there's a few cells left that keep them alive.
That's
just
so
enough to stay
gross.
alive. And then the imaginal discs put them back together. They grow those discs while they're still in the egg, and then some of the discs stay dormant while others begin before their chrysalis is even formed. So sometimes within the caterpillar, wings are already growing under the skin, and then emerge once they're in the chrysalis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The only reason why I said I couldn't do this one is because I said I couldn't go talking through this whole thing without quoting what's his name? Heimlich from Bug's Life. I'm a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah. A paper that I read, a scientist said, because everybody says, it's like they turn into soup. He said, well, so if the pupa contains a soup, it's an organized broth full of chunky bits.
Ew.
Yeah, an
That
organized
makes it
broth
worse.
full of chunky bits. So yeah, can you imagine? I mean, it'd be insane. It'd be insane. You know, you're just living your life, and then you wake up, and you're like a totally different animal.
I guess we would cocoon at puberty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would be in a human's lifespan. And be like, oh, where's little Johnny? Oh, he's cocooning right now. Like
Yeah.
Like
he's pupating.
Yeah.
Puberty? Pupating.
Pupating. See? Same thing.
He's pupating.
And
then when you get out, you look totally different. You're not even a human anymore.
No.
Or before you weren't a human. Like we give birth to some grubs or something. And then
that's what I was gonna say.
Human at puberty.
Yeah, would our human form be the after, or would it be the before?
Right, I don't.
Because okay, so let's just say human, because we're more caterpillar looking. You know what I mean?
For sure, soft and gooey, and yeah.
So what?
Just flesh bags.
So what would we, besides like growing actual wings? What would our equivalent of a caterpillar be?
You mean of a butterfly?
Yeah. To a butterfly. Caterpillars.
We're the larva.
And then we're going to the butterfly. Like, what would be the equivalent?
Stage.
What would be the equivalent? Like
birds. We just turn into a bird.
True. That probably would be it. You just turn into a bird. Yeah. Pterodactyl, you know.
Yes. Our final form is a pterodactyl.
Because it's still like fleshy, you know?
Yeah. I was thinking bat. I was thinking like something, yeah. Because
I love bats. Everybody knows I love bats, so I'd be okay with that.
The butterfly has the body of its old self, kind of.
Yes.
It just grew longer legs, less of them, segments.
Yeah, so we would be bats or pterodactyls.
Bats. Yeah, that's definitely.
Let's go with bats. I love giant bats.
What if our final form is just vampires? That's the final form.
And some people have reached it, and we haven't evolved yet. Luke is on a huge vampire kick right now.
Ooh.
So, because that's what he wants to dress up for Halloween, and
nice.
Because he wants me to dress up as one as well, and I said, "Really, buddy?" And he said, "But you can be a beautiful one." I was like, "Thanks, kid."
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, thanks. A bat. Never thought of that like that, but yeah, we would definitely be a bat.
Cool.
That would be cool. I would love to fly, like just. But then again, the adaptive clothing.
And actually, everything about it points to bat, because
yes,
you know how like their
fingers.
lives are. Well, I'm just thinking too, like behaviorally, like our lives would have to be totally different.
Yes, it
we
would
go
be
from daytime to nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like the difference.
Yes,
especially if you're a moth. Like okay, a butterfly goes from daytime to daytime, but a moth goes from daytime to nighttime.
Yeah. Well, and there's still, but there are still. I mean, there are flying foxes and everything that stay up during all day and everything.
That's true.
But again, it's the same thing. I mean, moths and butterflies for the most part, similar enough. But
yeah, and we can never eat any plants again. Like it has to be like a bat where you're only a carnivore.
Well, or unless you're a flying fox and it's fruit.
Yeah, and nothing else ever again. Yeah,
I could totally do that.
Just herbivore to just nectar.
I could totally just be a frutivore the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think I could too.
I love fruit.
If my insides could handle it, and I not get like diabetes or something.
Right. Just go wiki clean. Yeah. All right, bats. I am all for this bat theory.
Final form.
Yeah, right. Becoming bats. I can get behind this. I'm all for it. Alrighty.
All right. What's your last one?
Texas horned lizard with the blood squirting out of the eyes.
This was my last one.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. I saved it for the last one because I'm like, this is the craziest.
Oh my gosh! What are the chances?
I knew it would happen. I mean, I didn't think it would, but I also thought it might. Yeah. It is this. Could you imagine? Of
course. I mean, could you imagine squirting blood from our eyes?
Eyeballs.
Now, again, I immediately went to like, okay, single, start dating, just like, nope, blood out the eyeballs.
Yeah. This is not going well. Actually, why am I winking? It'd be more like...
Yeah.
Because they bulge.
They bulge. Yeah, they bulge your eyes out.
I looked up the science behind it. So there are a lot of horned lizards can do this. 8 species in particular, up to 5 feet away,
which is pretty far.
That is significant when you're like 3
That's
inches
what I was
long.
gonna say. So you figure if you're 3 inches and it can go 5 feet.
Right. What is the equivalent for us?
Okay, hold on. Well, let's see here. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead. You talk, and I will. The one with dyscalculia with a learning disability in math.
Yeah.
We'll do the math and figure this out.
Perfect. Meanwhile, here's some other numbers. One study showed that it lost about 2% of its body mass. One little lizard lost up to 6.8% of its body mass.
Oh my gosh.
So listen, I crunched the numbers here on this one. The human body is 7% blood in mass. Okay?
Oh.
So those lizards lost, that would be like us losing almost all of our blood. In one, it would be such a stream. Can you imagine? Okay, even if it was just the low end, the 2%, if we lost 2% of our blood, that's what do we have? 8 liters, something like that?
I think so.
Okay, so 2 liters. A 2-liter bottle of soda pouring out of your eye.
That's so much blood.
Yeah, and it's the same amount. It's the same amount as when your water breaks for a baby. And let me tell you, someone who experienced that not that long ago, it is an insane amount of fluid.
Thankfully, I didn't have to because I was a scheduled C-section.
That was insane. But yeah, 2 liters out your eyeball. Just.
So, I could be wrong, but given the average height of a person, hold on, wait a second. It'd be. Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. So if you're about 3 inches and you could shoot it up to 5 feet, it said.
Which is how many inches? 60?
5 feet, 60 inches. Okay. So then, if we took, then a 5-foot human, ratio? The ratio is 3 to 60. So then that would be 3 times 20 to get to your 60, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And then, so that you would do 5 foot, 60 times 20. Divided by your 12, that would be 101 feet.
Holy!
That's a long way. That's pretty far.
And a 2 liters worth.
That's so much.
That's so much so far. So yeah, you just immediately go anemic. Apparently, apparently it can be done several times. In a relatively short period. It contains canine and feline repellent chemicals. And they also, so what they do is, they have a muscle around their eyeball, their membrane, that they can shut that off. Okay. They shut off the vein. So the heartbeat keeps pumping blood in, but it doesn't go out. So the pressure builds and builds.
It's so gross.
Builds and builds until finally it rapidly does its little eye muscle thing. And that rapid bursts the membrane and shoots the blood. If it doesn't, if it just gets sand in its little eye, it could do the same thing without shooting the blood. It just doesn't do the rapid fire. It just does the bulgy bit.
I wish you guys could see the intense blinking that Laura is doing, the winking, the eye twitching.
All the more reason to join Patreon.
Right?
But yeah, so it would be very useful to be able to clear debris. The amount of times that I get total poop water in my eyes.
Yeah, just anything. Just dirt,
I would
dust,
love to immediately flush my eye.
Yeah, that would be
convenient. That would be really
nice.
Would be convenient. And like you said, anytime you're in a bad situation, you need to get out, just squirt the blood.
Squirt the blood. Just squirt the blood. What are the chances, though, that the last one for both of us, man?
Well, right, and that we were both saving it for the end.
That's the funny part, was that we both were in the finale. Blood squirting. So gross.
There was a comedian I heard once talking about what if we were spitting cobras and could spit venom at people. And I was like, somebody's already talked about that. But it's very similar. If you were in a bad situation, just right into somebody's eyes.
Right? That would be funny.
I think the comedian was saying something like, what if you're sitting at a bar? Yeah. And somebody came on you and you're just like,
yeah. I would do it. Oh, goodness. That's funny. Well, guys, could you imagine? If you guys have really good ones that you're thinking of, please
share.
Yeah, please share. Go on to Twitter. That's probably the best spot to reach out to us. Let us know, because again, Laura and I think about this a lot, and we could just laugh about it all day, because they're always
I love to imagine. Yeah.
funny things. So yeah, definitely let us know. As we've said several times throughout this episode, check us out on Patreon. Follow us on Twitter at Footlon, who we should give a total good shout out to AC, one of our youngest listeners.
Amazing art for us.
Amazing art over our break that and I think did we share it on our page? I think so. Okay, yeah. Yes. So if you go to our Twitter page and scroll back a little bit, you'll see AC did some amazing artwork when she listened to the season 5 finale. Of all like our funniest episodes. So make sure you go there and like AC's artwork. Just check it out. It's so funny.
And thanks to Kim for doing all of our mini episodes.
Yep. In our break. Yep. So that we could actually get a break. It's always nice. Helps us catch up on work and life. And but yeah, if you guys have episode ideas, or if you're an animal nerd, if you know, professional, whatever, and you want to be a guest on the show, or if you know, collaborate. Yeah. Or if you know, you'd be like, hey, it'd be really cool if you guys talked to this person or had this person on. Let us know.
We've had people on our show. We've also guested on other people's shows.
Yep.
So yeah, we're willing to collab.
Podcast network is pretty fun. All right, everybody.
Season 6, we're off to a good start.
Just so
keep listening.
Weird.
Keep listening,
please.
We promise.
Please.
It'll be great.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.